We're going to get right into it. But first, I'm going to say this. There's no one who does not know, who has not heard of GTA Online. There's no way for anyone to be like, what is that? This game has sold over 200 million plus copies. It is the number 2 selling video game under Minecraft. And Minecraft's over 300, so they will not catch that. GTA Online was a bundled portion of Grand Theft Auto 5. It launched October 1st in 2013 for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. I'm going to
Damn.
repeat that. The PlayStation 3. I'm not even going to abbreviate. I'm going to say the whole thing. Xbox 360. That's how old this shit.
God damn.
Hell, oh, I fucking am.
Damn.
You know, give some
God
context.
damn.
For
Damn.
many of you all who were not there, me and my cousin, and I'm going to tell it like it is. When GTA Online, see, everyone knows GTA Online for the huge, colossal juggernaut that it is. Printing money, getting on, playing with your friends. Hey, when this shit started, it was a disaster. There were server crashes, character wipes, progression not saving. Now, this one's not really a bad thing, but there were economy exploits everywhere. Rockstar didn't really know what they had on their hands. It was a more evolved system of the free roam play from Grand Theft Auto 4, which, so I'm age again, older gamers, you were there, you know. Because once you beat the story in GTA 4, there really wasn't shit else to do. Unless you got online and played the free roam. But GTA Online's world was the promise. It was a shared open world multiplayer tied to GTA 5. 16 players max, contract mission, races, deathmatch. Very kind of limited in scope, money making. But it was your pretty standard, online affair. Early additions came in the form of the Beach Bum update, the online creator, first apartments and then garages, and basic vehicles and weapons. People would get online, they would play, make some money, terrorize their friends and random players. Like, I ain't gonna lie, GTA Online may be the last real true Wild West of gaming. It is a haven of grifting. Someone can drive by in a car that you like, but you ain't got the money to afford it. And what would that person do? I'm gonna go shoot him and blow that up, even though doing so charges you the insurance fee of doing it. But they was like, hey, I'm one step closer to not having that vehicle, but now he ain't got it. That's how petty people were. Rockstar almost lost GTA Online because, like I said, when it launched, it was bad. I know of a buddy who finally got it to work. We played for 5 hours, got his apartment, got some vehicles, did everything, and when he got back on 2 days later to play again, it was all gone, and he was like, "Yo, fuck this." But the turning point is Heist. In 2015, Rockstar launched 4-player cooperative Heist, planning boards, roles, finales, big payouts, making some real money. Because them contract missions, you got maybe 5 to upwards of $10,000 to $11,000 at a time. That's chump change compared to what you got in the GTA heist. The notable heists were the Fleeca Job, Prison Break, 2 Main Labs, the Series A, and of course the granddaddy model, the Pacific Standard. This update saved GTA Online and proved it could be a long-term staple stay. But I want to throw this out there. Heist did not come until 2015. I think it was just about nearly 2 years later, because the premise of GT Online as it was sold to consumers was not only was it a huge playground for you to play and play around with your friends, but you can do heists as well. That's what it was sold on when they were doing the marketing for Online and GTA 5. The whole thing of the story GTA 5 was heists. The online portion would have it, but they kept promising, it's coming, and a little 2 years later, it did drop. And it was a huge game changer. People from droves came on and or bought the game, playing with your pals to rob a bank, high stakes police chase, the ultimate crime action movie in a video game that you controlled. Then from that success came the greed, the piecemealing. Next, in 2016, 2017, Rockstar added the CEO updates, biker and criminal empires. This added CEO offices, cargo and vehicle warehouses, the MC clubs, bringing back a little nostalgia for people who had fan favoriteship from the Lost and the Damned for GTA 4. That brought drug businesses. white powder, the crystal, and cold hard cash. If you couldn't gather the 4 friends to play the heist because you had to have 4 people in order to launch those heists, they started giving you more options on how to make your own money your way. They brought in gun running with bunkers, weapons research, import-export business. It allowed people to live out their criminal enterprises and dreams on their terms. Impact was solo and passive income paths. Lobby grifting increased because as people made more money, they could afford all those expensive toys that Rockstar was continuing to add to the game. And if you were a smart consumer, you didn't buy into those microtransaction shark cards. You chose to play the game straight up. Once again, like I said, if you were a casual player, little here, little there, some guy drives in on what could be considered a Bugatti in the game, but go shoot his ass. That's what the game turned into. Businesses require constant upkeep strategy in order to keep the money flowing. This era introduced the shark cards as a serious shortcut. Sad but true. Then came one of the newer eras Rockstar added, the Doomsday era. 2017, 2018, GTA went sci-fi. What it changed and brought with it was facilities, jetpacks, orbital cannon strikes, and of course the flying fucking bikes, the Oppressor Mach 2. This took grifting to an even bigger level because now you can run up, pop somebody, and take off into the sky. A la Back to the Future flying DeLorean, which I do believe they did add later on, but we'll get to that. Community reaction. Fun but controversial. PvP imbalance exploded because if you had the money, you had the means to buy the bigger and better guns that came with you in the PvP. I'm going to pause for a second here. GTA Online was not known for its PvP platform. You either got on and you played some of the co-op stuff or you played the open world just messing around. I tried to get into the PvP back in the day and I was still that kind of a PvP gamer. It was hard to get team death matches or anything else going on due to how they focus so much on the open online world of the system. It was not done how GTA 4's free roam was. But hey, different strokes for different folks. Back to it. Grifting hit an all-time high. Rockstar leaned into over-the-top sandbox chaos. At some point, people felt like, hey, they encouraged it because guess what? The more grifting and chaotic things the world became, people bought the game more and more. From PS3 360 to PS4. Damn, what was that Xbox called? I'm sorry, Xbox One. Forgive me. And then, of course, they moved on to their real scummy era of GT Online, the casino and quality of life era. 2019 and 2020, the Diamond Casino and Resort was added, the first major interior social hub. Gambling, region locked in some countries, but not good old America, allowed you to bet your money on it big and win. Rockstar had to continuously do updates as players found out ways to circumvent their system so that they can win true in-game prizes, also push you to shark cards. The casino heist came about. Multiple approaches, stealth, aggressive, on, replayability, smaller teams. You could go at it 2 or 4. And I won't lie, this is around the time when I kind of was stepping away from GTA, but this brought me back because this is where they found a way to change things up. That's the best way we'll say. The casino heist, you had multiple different things that you could steal, which gave you multiple different payouts. Me and my cousin, we actually met a guy who was highly obsessed with GTA Online, so much so that he knew how to make the best payout come out. He knew how to the full layout of the heist. When we were doing it, he was like, you guys take all the money. I bought everything in the game. And we were flabbergasted to say, I'm sorry, what'd you say? He said he had bought everything in the game. He just played for shits and gigs. Rockstar finally respected player choice and replay loops. After that, 2020 up into 22, Rockstar came back and said, hey, we want to give you more options and more choices, just besides the shark cards. The KO Perico era came. Solo player revolution. Why was this huge? You want to say the first fully solo heist. No needing to wait on that buddy to get off of work or that guy to leave his girlfriend alone and come make some money. You could go at it fully on your own. Massive payouts, minimal setup time, stealth focus. Result was it became the number one money method, reduced shark card pressure, and solo players finally mattered, not having to rely on engaging with others, the introverts. Kaya Perico Heist reshaped GT Online rather. And then they got into more of an expanded and enhancing content, refreshing. This is where they got more into the PS5 and the Series X, 22 and 23. Upgrades of 60 FPS, ray tracing, faster loading. I think that one's a lie because this game's architecture was made for the PS3. The loading times was not faster, it just was more stable. Ohio Special Works, vehicles, HSW, content focus shift. They started doing their story arcs, quality of life updating. Kind of cracked down a little more on the anti-grifting changes, but come on now. You're gonna grift. You are going to grift. Invite only businesses allow more team base and control of the money again. And now we get to the modern day aspect. GTA Now. It's a little bit more maintenance mode as they do further updates here and there. The Los Santos drug wars, the Cluckenbell farm raid, police and vigilante style content, heavily narrative mini expansions, possibly trying to make up for not really giving single player DLC. We'll get to that in a moment. But GTA Online still profitable, still raking in money. It has been widely known and stated that Grand Theft Auto 5 in its entirety development was $250 million. That was a lot even back then. GTA Online itself, we're just talking about the online. We're not even talking about the whole aspect, has garnered Take-Two and Rockstar over $8 billion in its entirety, and it's still counting. Current state, fewer massive system improvements, more structured missions, and it's designed to hold players until GTA 6 Online. GTA Online is now more stable, optimized, heavily monetized, but not experimental. GTA Online has changed the gaming landscape. It is for lack of a better term, it is a live service. Me and my cousin, we have reported and talked about how live service has ruined gaming in a whole. It has not fully destroyed it, but it has ruined. It has created this trend of trying to chase a forever game, and that's what GT Online has become. It is the forever portion of Grand Theft Auto. And it's also one of the more successful live services of GTA. GTA, Fortnite, we'll say Roblox. I won't say Destiny. That's kind of fallen. Are your golden staples of foreverness. But we're here today to give you a brief history lesson. We're here today to talk about what we lost and the cost of the success of GTA Online. Before we switch into it, what are your memories, your aspects and takes from those fable years of when we used to play GTA Online?
Yeah, so GTA Online, I remember trying to play, and at the end of the intro mission, my character would be white. I did that for about 3 days, and I was like, you know what? Fuck GTA Online. And I left it. And when Trish leaves shit, she leaves shit. So I left it for like 5 years. Like I said, that was at the early beginning, so it was nothing to do. Like my cousin said in his history points, when I came back, it was totally different experience. They had the heist, they had casino, they had all these businesses, they had all this. I was like like stimulized. Like it was so much shit to do. My cousin had been left GTA Online by then, and I forced him to come back because I was like, mofo, I needed some people to do a heist, blah blah blah. So we got back in it for a while. We met like the dude. It was cool. It was cool, and it definitely was grindy. And because that's probably because it was so much content I had to get through. It felt very grindy. Maybe if I would have stayed around and played it as it came out, it probably wouldn't have felt as grindy as it did for me. But the time I played, I had a lot of fun, with the businesses, making money per hour. I quickly learned you cannot do business activities in an open lobby. You have to go to a closed lobby, be the only one in there. That was the only way for you to get through your business activities and complete the missions because people will just be assholes. Like, let you drive half the map, you get to your location, and right before you get to where you need to get to, they blow you up. and I was like, "Nah, bruh. Nah, we not doing that again." But yeah, GTA Online was a lot of fun. I will say it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. I bought apartments. I lived at the casino. I spun the wheel for the free car every week. My garages are really, really, really crowded in cars right now, and I haven't cut the game on in years. But GTA, I have a lot of fun memories. Like I said, I went away for some years and I came back and it was a fully fleshed game, really, honestly. And so I came back to a point where everything and most of the kinks were already put out. I came back, there was hovering bikes, hovering cars. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I did participate in a lot of grifting on that motorcycle because it's just so much fun. And I got cussed out by many of people in the lobby. But that's just the way of the game, way of the experience. I did put it down again, I will say that. I think the last thing I played was the Franklin story with Dr. Dre. That was kind of the last one I played, and I can't remember what year ago that was. And people were like, probably listening like, damn. But yeah, that was the last one I played, and then I put it down because I felt like I did everything that you could do without feeling like you were old boy just playing the same shit over and over and over again. GTA Online is not immune to that. People get bored or people lose interest. That's another thing. Rockstar has to keep up consistent content. And I seen something. They released some content not too long ago. But yeah, they constantly have to give new content, new reasons to play. It does get a little repetitive after a while, and that's why I put it down. It was fun. For what it is, it was fun. And I'm curious to see, hopefully, when they launch GTA 6 and they launch the online, it's a lot more stable because horrific, horrific. But still, I know we're going to get into it. Even as fun as the online was, I still wouldn't have traded away what we lost, honestly.
I ain't gonna lie. My cousin killed me a couple times with that fucking bike. And I did hate that damn thing. I know some of you are like, well, Infamous, you played so long for it. I didn't want to buy it. I'm not a flyer. I'm a driver.
Yo, he did. Yo, but every time I would drive my shit that flew, he got in the passenger seat though. Just saying.
I have abandonment issues. And I'm and we all know who. Audience, tell me in the comment section. Ain't Infamous part of the problem in
Yeah.
some aspects? Like, come
Yeah.
on, come on.
Yeah.
So we got into it with GTA Online, the juggernaut, well, one of the juggernauts of the gaming industry. I mentioned briefly, let's talk about what we missed out on and the cost of GTA Online. Some of you all may not know or remember this, but GTA 4 was a huge success. And one of
Mhm.
the favorite things people love and remember of it was Grand Theft Auto episodes. Liberty City. You had The Lost and Damned, a biker expansion, very reminiscent and kind of close to a popular television show at the time, The Sons of Anarchy. I am almost 100% sure that inspired them to make that. And then you had everyone's favorite, the Ballad of Gay Tony, played the Puerto Rican slash black assistant to a club owner. Everyone loved that because that injected new fresh to the game, but not just the story. The free mode that I talked about. When Lost and Damned came, motorcycles and bicycles were everywhere. They were more stable. In the base game, you slightly bumped anything. That character, Nico, that character went flying meters, flapping it to the ground, touching everything from the pavement to the car paint and everything. Lost the damn bro stability. They're more stable. They didn't slide around everywhere, and you definitely didn't get ejected so it's easily. When Gate Tony came around, more vehicles were added, more guns. One of my personal favorites, the AA-12 shotgun, and it had explosive rounds. And you know what all that brought? That brought more chaos and fun into GTA Free Roam. The APC tank. People would rush into the world, rushing to go grab that tank. I believe it was at one of the police stations, and people enjoyed that. The more expansions. They were released separately. They came out first on the Xbox 360. Some people felt some type of way about this. This is during Xbox's heyday when they were handing out money for anything exclusive to brag about. But people loved it. So, of course, when GTA 5 came out, people had that same expectation. And we're going to get into that. On GTA 5, people had expected single player DLC, something akin to the episodes. And since GTA 5 was so heavily focused on three characters, has been interviews, voice actors, and other workers of Rockstar that have come out and spoke. There were 3 planned DLCs for GTA 5. Each one focused centralized of the 3 main characters: Franklin, Michael, Trevor. Trevor specifically was going to have his own GTA expansion called Secret Agent Trevor. He was a government spy, more a la akin to a James Bond in a sense. I don't know how that worked because if you've played GTA 5, Trevor, the character as a whole, is nothing like a James Bond character. Not subtle at all. But you would go and do undercover missions for the feds, shootouts, everything. Even the voice actor Stephen Ogg had confirmed filming was done. He had did the motion capture and recorded the lines. But due to the instability of GTA Online and said success. That's rare that happens. Something so unstable, but yet it's so successful. They put it on the back burner. I believe Dan Houser was on an interview stating that how it worked was they put everything on hold to bring GTA Online into stability, while at the same time adding bit by bit content to keep people engaged, to keep people interested, because they were making money hand over fist. And then they put it to the side again for the port of PS4. They put it to the side again for Heist, and before you knew it, it just did not come to be. A more recent interview with Dan Houser, he says they just did not finish it. The story was written, everything was put into place, it just did not come together. And because GTA Online was just such an aggressive beast, all hands were on deck. And I find that very, very sad. There were hints in the main story. I believe Mount Chiliad and other Easter eggs in the game that pointed towards single player DLC coming. For years, you had the gaming community in a frenzy, analyzing, dissecting, tearing down every update that came to GTA Online. Further speculated, the single player DLC is coming. It's coming. We're gonna do it any day now. This file was added, and after all these years, it is not. And it has not. Michael's supposed DLC was him going back to his old criminal days before he had became in the witness protection. Franklin, I don't remember what his was. I don't think that was ever leaked or brought about. But people truly, because some people just don't care. Some people treat GTA Online as the DLCs for the game, because not only was GTA Online free, but every content update, drop, heist, and everything that they have done to the game has been free. And some people look at that as, hey, don't look a gift, a horse, and a mouse, because they could have charged for all of that, but that also would have segregated and piecemealed the community. Some people would have had certain updates for games, and then, of course, that old dreaded unfairness, pay to win aspects would have been brought up. You had two arguing sides over yay or nay, but most people feel cheated. One of the things that Rockstar in itself, besides making great games, they were now recently known for adding great DLCs to their games. Even the original Red Dead Redemption had a huge zombie expansion that they put to the game that they say is one of the best DLCs of all time. This is before The Witcher. I'm gonna add that before anyone in the comments gets to me. Let me kick it over to my co-host, Treese. Do you remember at any point in time any of the speculation, rumors, drummings of the DLC, or what would you have even have wanted if they would have continued down their path, putting out DLC like they did for?
Yeah, I definitely remember because it was so prominent, and one way to predict is to look back on history. And like you said, a lot of the DLCs were praised, the story and the different aspects, and it brought in new characters that you could play too, especially if you were fatigued of playing with someone like Trevor and or someone like Michael or Franklin. And I know people that had problems with all the characters, that somebody didn't like each and every one of them. Like the DLC, listen, I do remember that time where it was all ruffling and bustling, and I remember the leaks about Trevor's mission, like just like you said, like I remember it all, thinking like, oh, it's gonna come, it's gonna come, it's gonna come, and then I looked up, it had been 5 years, and I'm like, I don't think that shit comes.
I don't think
and
that's coming back, you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah. dad called me to say he was coming to get me. It's been 3 hours. I don't think he's coming." And this, you know, mind you, this is I stopped playing online for a long period of time because I thought DLC was going to come and I was gonna be fine with that instead of playing online, and it never came, and that was another reason what pushed me to have to play the online again. Honestly, I felt like Rockstar coulda did both, like, honestly, and I don't think DLC woulda hurt the online movement because it was its own thing. Now, comparing apples and oranges, would the DLC bring in as much money as online? I think that would've been an
Nope.
unfair comparison. Like, you can't compare DLC to shark cards. It's a totally different machine, but at the end of the day, it still would've been positive income for Rockstar, and it would have paid for itself tenfolds. So I think they could have did both. I just think they chose the lower hanging fruit, honestly, and they justified it, saying, "Oh, the updates maintain the stability." Like, if Rockstar truly wanted that shit and didn't want to waste the time and money they invested into making the DLCs, they could have put it out. And I think they could have did it with ease and it would have been fine. But, you know, companies do what's easier and best for them at the end of the day. And honestly, and it's the consumers that gets the short end of the stick. But I still miss the DLC. I remember playing the Gay Tony and all the other stuff from 4, so it was in as somebody that's played multiple GTAs, I do as a fan, I did miss the DLC of GTA 5. I honestly can say that. And this is someone who's put in hours of online. Like, it's just the DLC just would have been a different experience to the story. Like I said, I always felt like they stripped the main story so bare. It's like bare minimum because they knew they was gonna do a DLC later, and it was gonna be fine because they was gonna add stuff to the single player mode that didn't make it feel so fucking empty. And without that DLC, now the shell of the single player is still empty. Like, it feels hollow, and I think that was a big mistake. So I mean, I'm just an unhappy customer that ended up being happy at some points, but disappointed in other points, I guess. But yeah, I mean, what can you do? Rockstar made a decision, and the decision was that DLC. And they later tried to implement stories into the online because, like I said, the last story I played was of Franklin and Dr. Dre story. So I think Michael pops up on online too in one of the little things. I can't remember. I think it happened after I stopped playing. But yeah, they try to reintegrate the characters in the online, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. As I had already stated before, the further they went along with GTA Online, they started doing the little mini narrative expansions they'll put out, like you said, the Dr. Dre one, and all that. And I guess that was probably them feeling a bit guilty, knowing what they should and could have done. If GTA
Yeah.
Online was making so much money, hand over fist, you telling me you couldn't take a small team, 10, 15, 30, 40, 50 people,
And it's not
took a 1 month's earnings and be like, hey,
and
it's
it's
just
not,
a
yeah, finish, not start and begin and end, just finish. Like, what the fuck?
yes, finish. Dan Hauser interview. He said they had everything set. The voice actor, he talked about, hey, everything was done. They just did not do anything. They didn't
Yeah.
do anything at all. And that is what makes it one of the saddest things because they chose to go down that dark road of the live service. And they have not come back because they did the same thing with GTA. I'm sorry, Red Dead Online, and they not only abandoned DLC for that game. Hell, they abandoned the fucking online when it
Yeah,
wasn't pulling
'cause
out GTA money.
yeah. And that's really a shame because that's not the outlook I think the game maker should have. At the end of the day, make a good product. At the end of the day, hey, I never thought a Western online was gonna make it, but like and don't get me wrong, people did love it. Some people played it and Rockstar stumped on that because they said, "Bitch, this shit not making no shark card money. Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, but that's how they did go about it. And I do remember the speculation of the DLCs, and there were three core times when I was like, you know what, I just don't think this shit ain't coming with the heist
The
because that was taking taking so long. I was like, yo, this shit ain't coming. You know, they sold us on a promise, a dream, and we got piecemeal. And then that showed up. I was like, oh, okay. They talked about bigger and better things, the expanding of the game. I was like, oh, I'm like, man, that shit ain't coming. And then they started adding the yachts and the biker gangs and all that. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, they told me, even though that's when I kind of pieced out that first time. And I bought that yacht. It was $10 million in game. Bought it, and it didn't do nothing what they
Nothing.
advertised it to do.
Ain't do
Nothing, not a
shit.
damn thing. And then I even paid the extra money for the defenses. Random ass players were swimming, jumping on my boat, hopping in my jacuzzi. And I'm like, yo, oh no, we done. That was when I checked out of the game. And then the third
Yeah.
time, promises DLC. You had, not to name drop any YouTubers, but you had YouTubers across the board who made their career for GTA Online. Kind of like how you have with Call of Duty YouTubers in a
Mhm.
section. It's coming. Leak files, Rockstar dev leaks. Someone hacked a guy's phone while he was at a nightclub. It's coming, it's coming. And shit did not come. A lot of people thought, oh, when they bring the PS4 version of the game, now with first person mode, all the other things that they added to it, yeah, the DLC will come out. That's how they'll get you to buy the game again. Bullshit.
Nah, nah,
That did
nah,
not happen.
nah.
Not at all. And it was really fucked up. It was really fucked up because they really step parented us. I'm sorry. Yeah, they really step parented us. Like, hey dad, can we go to GameStop? Well, champ, let's see how the day plays out, Yo, just fucking say no. Just say no. You ain't taking me. Why you lying? Why
Why
you
you
lying, Phil?
always lying?
It got to a point, even when we came back to do our playing and whatnot, by that time it was well documented and said, hey, single player DLC, it ain't coming. It's not. And they can talk all day of excuses on why they couldn't, and it was just on the cards. You had the resources. You had all the resources in the world. And still to this day, you have the resources. As I've stated, GTA Online itself, online, has garnered $8 billion.
That's insane.
One human can't fathom the aspect of 1 billion is such astronomical amount of money. That's crazy. But lo and behold, GT Online today is a completely different aspect and atmosphere of what it once used to be. My researching for this, I tallied up over the years. GTA Online has had over 52 updates, modes, add-ons, additions that they've done to it online.
Damn.
52
Damn.
between the yearly Valentine's Day massacre, drug wars, the bottom dollar bounties, Los Santos tuners, the contract. That's what you were talking about, Trees, with the Dr.
Mm.
Drake thing. That was in 21. The Diamond Heist, everything across the board. Over 52 updates and additions to GT Online. Nothing
Damn.
for the story.
Damn.
So I'm telling
That's
you to tell you this.
damn.
Hey, we lost out on something huge, long term, stringing along. Hey, I
Damn.
want to go to Six Flags. Let's go for a walk around the park. Man, it's
It's
not the
crazy
same.
seeing them all up at once.
Oh, yes. Yes, all of these is GTA Online updates. And they have now I won't knock them. They have put their money where their mouth is. They
Ammunition,
have put
Independence Day.
time and money and energy into this, but we lost out on something so much more. And I guarantee you are hearing it here. Are you not entertained? They will go bigger and harder.
Oh,
GTA Online
yeah,
6.
yeah, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
not be surprised if they separate the two at launch. If they give you an option to buy GTA 6 and online is bundled with it as it was with 5, or like, hey, you don't give a fuck about all this, you can buy GTA Online itself for a significant lower price. Because they did do that in the years to come. Currently
Yeah.
now, you can buy GTA Online by itself without the story. That was a Let's Talk edition little piece that I wanted to give off. Things that have changed and what we lost out on. As everything pushes towards high monetization, online connectivity. Because we're not going to get DLC for GTA 6. You heard it
Oh,
here.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, 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 no. It's not even a hope and a dream. Like, no,
Not even on the radar
no,
at
no. It's
all.
it's it's out of there. It's finito. It's a home
But
run, buddy.
I have been your host, Infamous, as always, with my numero uno co-host, Treese. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?